morning and welcome to another exciting time on television. It is Business Angle. I'm Ogalema Furu. On Business Angle, we bring you information about the economy, economic laws, policies, occurrences and events. And we also analyze the significance, impact of all of these on us as individuals, corporate organizations, businessmen and women, and yes, the everyday Nigerian. Today on the program Business Angle, we're looking at entrepreneurship and how to mitigate the challenges occasioned by COVID-19. Speaking with me today is the CEO, the Lead Summit International Academy and the Royal Perspective Creative Company. He is Isaac Idiale. So pleased to have you with us, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for honoring our invitation to be on the program today. Well, I know you're an entrepreneur, a business person. You have two companies to your name. What motivated you into becoming an entrepreneur?
Okay, first and foremost, I would want to say that I was motivated with the fact that I believe that creating job opportunities for people will reduce poverty, and at the same time it will actually reduce the chances of crime. You know, it's painful when you look at the street and you see a lot of people, struggling because somebody out there didn't create a platform.
So
basically, I felt I should feel that
it's your responsibility to create jobs for people instead of looking for, like most persons, most youth, people of your age, of our age, will probably want to look for a white-collar job. But you, on the other hand, you thought about creating jobs. You created jobs for yourself as well as many others that are working for you. Now, how did you prepare for this life of an entrepreneur? How do you prepare to become an entrepreneur, a job creator? Like this, how?
Okay. Basically, the first thing was that I knew there was a need, and I knew that I had to, for me to be able to meet such a need, I needed to have certain trainings. I needed to build some skills, some experience, and basically capacity. So I had to, attend seminars, forums, symposium, or trainings as the case may be.
So that means that even with this period of COVID-19, youth can begin to put themselves to good use by acquiring skills, knowledge that they can deploy into meaningful venture instead of just staying at home. What's your take on that? Like, what would you say to any youth out there who is probably saying that the economy is not moving as it were, and in fact, many people have lost jobs. So we have more people in the house who are obviously redundant, they're unproductive. So what would you say to them now as a way of telling them that there is need for them to enhance themselves, acquire skills, knowledge that they can also use to create something for themselves and others?
Okay, like basically it's obvious that people are actually not actively doing something, but that doesn't really mean that we should fold our hands and keep complaining, because nobody's going to change anything if somebody did not do something. So basically, I think it's an opportunity for us to rebrand. We should look inward and look at the things we could actually build. Look at the areas where people are actually having needs, because it doesn't make more sense at this point in time for some persons to start thinking of venturing into areas that people will not have a need for.
Okay.
You understand? Like, for instance, basically we know that food is one essential, commodity that everybody wants to
eat. Everyone must eat.
Basically. So you see, I think it's proper for us to start looking at the areas that people have specific needs, and develop training skills in those areas.
So you're trying to tell me that during this period of COVID-19, one other thing that our youth can do to help themselves financially and economically is to look for ways to acquire knowledge and skills, right? Just the way you did. And by acquiring knowledge and skills, you're already owning a business that's also employing others. So instead of looking for white-collar jobs, why don't you create jobs for yourself and others? And that's exactly what you've done. Now, going to the economic issues we have as a result of COVID-19, there have been an economic downturn. How have your business survived all this time, especially during the period of lockdown? How did you survive
Well,
as a businessman?
initially it wasn't funny because it was a direct impact on schools.
Okay.
Because schools were asked to close down.
Okay.
And basically I had to start thinking of other ways, alternatives. Beside the fact that I could actually run a school, I had other skills. Obviously, I could actually fall on.
Okay, I need to also add that you are the CEO of Royal Perspective Creative Company. So
yes.
You have two businesses that
yes.
you're running. So when you're talking to us about the school, since school had to close down,
yeah.
and what else did you do to ensure that?
Okay, basically I had to put in more energy in the area of my company. My creative company that has to do with stage designs, creative arts, branding and others.
Okay, so how did you use technology? Because I know you must have used technology, and owing to the fact that there have been restrictions on movement, you couldn't move, and there's some restrictions on activities, so you had to rely, like most businesses did, had to rely on technology to get to their end customers, to sell their products through digital means. So what exactly, how did you employ the use of technology?
Okay, the first thing I did was that basically I was not really an IT folk, as the case may be. I had to set up a team because it was necessary I do that, because I knew most persons are usually online. So at that time, so I set up a team. So from there I was able to easily sell most of the things I was doing by doing publicity, adverts and others.
Okay, so personally, from your own experience, what would you advise other entrepreneurs like you, young persons like you, who are into businesses, especially in this period of COVID-19? How can they harness the potential, the opportunities in the use of technology to expand and enhance their business in spite of the COVID-19?
Okay, basically I think Facebook, they should be informed basically about the new developments on Facebook, social media. We should be looking at those high-tech companies, what they are doing, like Google and Facebook. They are creating new templates on how small businesses could actually do adverts, could actually operate on their delivery tool and other tools recently brought up.
Okay, so we know that the federal government is coming up with different stimulus packages to encourage households and small-scale businesses that were adversely affected by COVID-19. What other suggestions would you give to the government as a way of mitigating some of the challenges that businesses have to cope with during this period?
Okay, I believe the government can actually have a kind of what I refer to as a kind of close check on entrepreneurs. I mean, leaving the office and reaching out to entrepreneurs to really see what is happening out there. Most entrepreneurs are not finding it easy. Some of them are even closing their shops, staying at home because they are not encouraged for one reason or the other. I think the government should at some point maybe come in by creating opportunities like loan opportunities and if possible grants. And if the government could also set up teams to monitor whatever they are giving out to those entrepreneurs, that would be very, very good too.
So you would suggest an all-inclusive strategy that will carry every entrepreneur along, right?
Yes.
Okay, so like we're talking about businesses and difficult times. We're in a difficult time, having to wage war against COVID-19, trying to ensure that we stay as much as possible being safe, but we still have to do some of the things we have to do in terms of business. And we know that an entrepreneur is one who sees opportunities in difficult times. Now let's talk about innovation in this time. What are the possibilities that this period of COVID-19 opens up for entrepreneurs like you, that they can capitalize on, enhance and maximize for themselves?
Okay, for the fact that people are restricted from meeting in large gatherings, and also people are also kept in their houses because of this situation on ground, I think some entrepreneurs or people like us, we should see other opportunities. People must eat. You understand? People must get food to eat. So by all means, they want to reach out to to the source where they are getting food from. So we could actually stand in that gap. So what I meant by that is, if you are a business person, maybe a cook, you could actually cook from the house and go online, do sales online. People order for food online. There are other businesses that could be done online. Fine, we know that there are still some businesses you cannot actually do online.
Yes.
But to an extent, I think this will help to reduce the chances of, not doing
contact
anything.
And even, yes, if there's adequate spacing,
Yeah.
there's there's need for distancing.
Okay.
So you having to now do home delivery,
Yes.
of the food, just like you mentioned, will also enable social distancing to occur. All right. Looking at your business, what are the strategies that you have taken so far during the period of COVID-19 to ensure your business stays afloat?
Okay.
Without external help, you didn't get help from the government, of course, but what have you personally done to ensure that your business stays afloat?
Basically, I think being optimistic, being hopeful, it's something that is very necessary for an entrepreneur. You must have this fighting spirit. You must be able to stand. You must be able to withstand the tendencies or the strain on you. Like one of the things I did was that I had to encourage myself. I had to motivate myself. You need that inner motivation. You understand. So one of the things I did is that I had to look at basically those things that are necessary, they must do. That has to keep my business moving. Now, one of my staff, I know that does most of the typing for me. She's very, very, her service is very important. So what I did was that, fine, considering the fact that the cost of our transportation increased and other things, I said, come, we are still going to be working. Your salaries will not be stopped. You can be working from the house. We have...
Okay. Now, before we go, time is not on our side. Let me get a clear strategy of what you did to ensure that there's adequate social distancing around your office quickly before we call it a day on the program.
Okay. Basically, I think we originally do have a good workspace. But what I had to do was that I had to really take advantage of the space by spacing out the staffs. You understand?
Okay, and they're providing adequate hand sanitizer.
Yes, we had hand sanitizer, we had face masks and others.
Alright, that was a very interesting moment right here on the program Business Angle, and we've been learning about entrepreneurship and how to mitigate the challenges occasioned by COVID-19. We've been speaking with the CEO, the Lead Summit International Academy, and also Royal Perspective Creative Academy, Isaac Idiale. So thankful for making our time to be with us today on the program. I hope that you will come again for...
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and also present.
Alright, thank you too very much for staying with us on the program. Do well to join us for another exciting time on the program, same time next week. I'm Ogalima Peru. Bye for now.